therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. You want to sing with me, Jed? Jed, let's sing. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I will step back and let Him lead the way. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I walk with God in perfect holiness. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Well, thank you all so much for joining me and Jed in singing our Course in Miracles lesson for today. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I will step back and let Him lead the way. God is but love, and therefore so am I. And I walk with God in perfect holiness. God is but love, and therefore so am I. When you step back and you let God lead the way, you'll be walking in perfect holiness. I'm Miracle Willie, forgiveness teacher from the Ozarks, here on lesson 173, Friday, June the 21st of 2024. When it's a review lesson of lesson 155 and 156. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Do that 5 minutes or more every morning. Keep that idea in mind along with the two associated ideas, which 155 was I will step back and let Him lead the way. And then lesson 156, I walk with God in perfect holiness. And be sure to immerse it into that idea. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Okay, well let's go look at our text reading for today. And we're in chapter 18, the passing of the dream, section 8, the little garden. The little garden. And while you're turning there, what all's going on around the world today? What's full moon, and the full moon of June is the strawberry moon. And let's see if I can get this light adjusted just a little bit better for us. Atheist Solidarity Day. And I think of that as no anthropomorphic God Day, you know, to give God the character of like a human, anthropomorphism. And, you know, a lot of people just reject that idea because, and we're going to learn a little bit about that in our text reading. Baby Boomers Recognition Day, Go Skateboarding Day, T-Shirt Day, International Day of Yoga. The word yoga means union, so we're trying to learn to be in union with God, with everything, with what is. The different paths of yoga, just quickly, you know, karma yoga, and then there's bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, raja yoga, you know, different paths. Raja yoga, the meditation yoga, the do-nothing yoga. Jnana yoga, the more of what we're doing with the Course in Miracles is building a state of consciousness based on truths. Okay, International Day of Yoga, Day of the Gong, Flip-Flop Day, Dog Party Day, Ugliest Dog Day, and Take Your Dog to Work Day. That's why I thought I'd get old Jed to sing. He sings with me a lot of times in the evening. One of these days I'll have him, we'll take a little more time and get him singing with us. He's actually a pretty good singer. You heard a little bit of it there. Peaches and Cream Day, Selfie Day, Ryan Moran Day. He was a capitalism teacher, still is. World Giraffe Day. The giraffe is the genus. There's 4 different species, some of them endangered. World Handshake Day. Give you a virtual handshake. Thank you for joining me. World Hydrography Day, or Hydrography Day. The study of water, rivers, lakes, oceans. And World Music Day. And yesterday we didn't do our edible landscaping. I always like to pick up a plant, and so we've been going through the edible landscaping brochure. Hardy Meader male kiwi. Dr. Meader, plant breeder from New Hampshire, had this male growing at his farm in Rochester, New Hampshire. Probably from Korea, this adaptable male fathered the Ken's red kiwi in tropical Australia. That's a pretty adaptable plant. Spaced 15 feet on T-trellises, zones 5 through 8. Okay, now let's look at the little garden. And let's keep in our mind all day today. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I will step back and let Him lead the way. I walk with God in perfect holiness. God is but love, and therefore so am I. The little garden. It is only the awareness of the body that makes love seem limited, for the body is a limit on love. The belief in limited love was its origin, and it was made to limit the unlimited. Think not that this is merely allegorical, for it was made to limit you. Can you who see yourself within a body know yourself as an idea? Everything you recognize, you identify with externals, something outside yourself. You cannot even think of God without a body, or in some form you think you recognize. So he's trying to get us to recognize that God's not in a body, and we don't need to think of him that way, but we tend to do that. He's trying to get us to see that we're not even a body. That was made as a limit on love. Paragraph 2. The body cannot know, and while you limit your awareness to its tiny senses, you will not see the grandeur that surrounds you. God cannot come into a body, nor can you join him there. Limits on love will always seem to shut him out and keep you apart from him. The body is a tiny fence around a little part of a glorious and complete idea. It draws a circle, infinitely small, around a very little segment of heaven, splintered from the whole, proclaiming that within it is your kingdom where God cannot enter, where God can enter not. Paragraph 3. Within this kingdom, the ego rules, and cruelly. And to defend this little speck of dust, it bids you fight against the universe. He's calling this body a little speck of dust compared to the whole. If you thought about the whole earth being yourself, one little speck of dust would be the identity that you think is so grand. He's going to elaborate that with a couple other examples. A sunbeam compared to the sun, and a little ripple compared to the ocean. The fragment of your mind is such a tiny part of it. Could you but appreciate the whole, you would see instantly that it is like the smallest sunbeam to the sun, or like the faintest ripple on the surface of the ocean. In its amazing arrogance, this tiny sunbeam has decided it is the sun. This almost imperceptible ripple hails itself as the ocean. Think how alone and frightened is this little thought, this infinitesimal illusion, holding itself apart against the universe. The sun becomes the sunbeam's enemy that would devour it, and the ocean terrifies the little ripple and wants to swallow it. Yet neither sun nor... So if you identify yourself as the ripple or the sunbeam, you'll be missing the point that you are the ocean, that you are the sun. You're not just that one little aspect. You are that aspect, He'll develop that. Let's just want to kind of give you an idea of what he's saying as we go along. Yet neither sun nor ocean is even aware of all this strange and meaningless activity. That the sun becomes the sunbeam's enemy that would devour it, and the ocean terrifies the little ripple and wants to swallow it. Yet neither sun nor ocean is even aware of all this strange and meaningless activity. They merely continue, unaware that they are feared and hated by a tiny segment of themselves. Even that segment is not lost to them, for it could not survive apart from them. And what it thinks it is in no way changes its total dependence on them for its being. Its whole existence still remains in them. Without the sunbeam would be gone. The ripple without the ocean is inconceivable. So, you know, your little speck of dust part compared to the whole, or your little beam of light, is part of the whole sun. Your little ripple that you make, that seems to be you, is part of the whole cosmic ocean. Paragraph 5. Such is the strange position in which those in the world inhabited by bodies seem to be. Each body seems to house a separate mind, a disconnected thought, living alone and in no way joined to the thought by which it was created. Each tiny fragment seems to be self-contained, needing another for some things, but by no means totally dependent on its one creator for everything, needing the whole to give it any meaning, for by itself it does mean nothing, nor has it any life apart and by itself. 6. Like to the sun and ocean, yourself continues, unmindful that this tiny part regards itself as you. It is not missing. It could not exist if it were separate, nor would the whole be whole without it. It is not a separate kingdom ruled by an idea of separation from the rest, nor does a fence surround it, preventing it from joining with the rest and keeping it apart from its creator. This little aspect is no different from the whole, being continuous with it and at one with it. It leads no separate life, because its life is the oneness in which its being was created. Paragraph 7. Do not accept this little fenced-off aspect of yourself. You know, we think of the body as ourself, and we think of that, well, that's a fence. This is me. I'm not over there. But we want to learn to recognize ourselves as an idea that's one with the idea of God. Only thoughts are even true. Do not accept this little fenced-off aspect as yourself. The sun and ocean are as nothing beside what you are. The sun, isn't that something? We're even greater than the sun and the ocean. Do not accept this little fenced-off aspect of yourself. The sun and ocean are as nothing beside what you are. The sunbeam sparkles only in the sunlight, and the ripple dances as it rests upon the ocean. Yet in neither sun nor ocean is the power that rests in you. Would you remain within your tiny kingdom, a sorry king, a bitter ruler of all that he surveys, who looks on nothing, yet who would still die to defend it? This little self is not your kingdom. Arched high above it and surrounding it with love is the glorious whole, which offers all its happiness and deep content to every part. The little aspect that you think you set apart is no exception. Paragraph 8. Love knows no bodies and reaches to everything created like itself. Its total lack of limit is its meaning. It is completely impartial in its giving, encompassing only to preserve and keep complete what it would give. In your tiny kingdom you have so little. Should it not then be there that you would call on love to enter? Look at the desert, dry and unproductive, scorched and joyless, that makes up your little kingdom, and realize the life and joy that love would bring to it from where it comes and where it would return with you. So he's saying the little life we live apart, he compares it to like a desert. But if we'll ask the love to come in, it'll be like bringing the water and the green, the life, the joy. Paragraph 9. The thought of God surrounds your little kingdom, waiting at the barrier you built to come inside and shine upon the barren ground. See how life springs up everywhere. The desert becomes a garden, green and deep and quiet, offering rest to those who lost their way and wander in the dust. Give them a place of refuge, prepared by love for them where once a desert was. And everyone you welcome will bring love with him from heaven for you. They enter one by one into this holy place, but they will not depart as they had come, alone. The love they brought with them will stay with them, as it will stay with you. And under its beneficence, your little garden will expand and reach out to everyone who thirsts for living water, but has grown too weary to go on alone. Well, what a beautiful example of the way that when we learn to love our neighbors as ourselves and we invite them into our lives, that they bring the love that we were lacking into our lives. We can't do it alone is what he's trying to get us to see. Paragraph 10. And everyone we see is part of ourselves. Don't live in a barren land where we're alone and destitute and have no Savior, no water. See the life in all our brothers and sisters and welcome them. Paragraph 10. Go out and find them, for they bring yourself with them. Hey, go out and find your brothers and sisters because they bring yourself with them. And lead them gently to your quiet garden and receive their blessing there. So will it grow and stretch across the desert, leaving no lonely little kingdom locked away from love and leaving you inside. And you will recognize yourself and see your little garden gently transformed into the kingdom of heaven, with all the love of its Creator shining upon it. 11. The holy instant is your invitation to love to enter into your bleak and joyless kingdom, and to transform it into a garden of peace and welcome. Love's answer is inevitable. It will come because you came without the body and interposed no barriers to interfere with its glad coming. In the holy instant, you ask of love only what it offers everyone, neither less nor more. Asking for everything, you will receive it, and your shining self will lift the tiny aspect you tried to hide from heaven straight to heaven. No part of love calls on the whole in vain. No son of God remains outside his fatherhood. Paragraph 12. Be sure of this. Love has entered your special relationship and entered fully at your weak request. You may just have a weak, dry, in this case, request. Dry in the sense that when you do request love to enter, our lone relationships, that he brings the water of life with him. Be sure of this. Love has entered your special relationship and entered fully at your weak request. You do not recognize that love has come, because you have not yet let go of all the barriers you hold against your brother. Wow, you see why we need to practice forgiveness? Recognizing that we're in everything and that we want to let go of all the barriers that block, things that justify that we should be apart and us alone because we'll be safer. We need to let go of those things so that we can see you do not recognize that love has come because you have not let go of all the barriers you hold against your brother. And you and he will not be able to give love welcome separately. You could no more know God alone than he knows you without your brother. But together you could no more be unaware of love than love could know you not, or fail to recognize itself in you. You have reached the end of an ancient journey, not realizing yet that it is over. You are still worn and tired, and the desert's dust still seems to cloud your eyes and keep you sightless. Yet he whom you welcomed has come to you and would welcome you. He has waited long to give you this. Receive it now of him, for he would have you know him. Only a little wall of dust still stands between you and your brother. Only a little wall of dust still stands between you and your brother. Blow on it lightly and with happy laughter, and it will fall away. And walk into the garden love has prepared for both of you. Wow. Walk into the garden that love has prepared for both of you. Okay, well, let's see. What else do we have? You know, yesterday I said the word for the old French is where we got our word peace from. And it's P-A-I-X, and I was pronouncing it Paix. I looked it up, and it's actually Paix. So that I-X basically it makes the A long, I guess. So anyway, the word in French is Paix. So let's use the word in French today for our word for peace. Paix. Be sure to do your 2 longer meditations. Aim for 15 minutes if you would like to try, but do at least 5 minutes every morning and every night. And then throughout the day, be sure to, at the top of the hour if you can, remind yourself that whatever the lesson is, which is today, God is but love, and therefore so am I. I will step back and let him lead the way. I walk with God in perfect holiness. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I will step back and let him lead the way. I will step back and let him lead the way. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I walk with God in perfect holiness. I walk with God in perfect holiness. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I will step back and let him lead the way. I will step back and let him lead the way. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I will step back and let him lead the way. God is but love, and therefore so am I. I walk with God in perfect holiness. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Paix.